NFL Week 11 TLBTV NFL picks. I'm Alex Flum alongside Liam Beatus, Lamar Johnson, and Jake Brodsky. Over there on the end, real quick before we get into the picks, let's take a look at the standings. Jake in first at 30-20. He went 3-2 last week. Lamar also went 3-2 last week. He sits in second at 28-22. Liam in third at 24-26, going 1-4 last week, finishing last for those picks. And me currently in last place, 23-27. Going 2-3 last week. So let's get right into the picks. We have the Peyton Manning-less Broncos, which for them, maybe that's even a positive thing, visiting the 4-5 Chicago Bears. Jake Brodsky, what do you pick?
I'm taking the Broncos. I think they have an exquisite defense that's going to be able to frustrate the Bears. I think it'll be a lower scoring game, but the Broncos are able to take this one home like they did early in the season when Peyton struggled.
Exquisite. I like the SAT word.
I tried.
But I'm also going to take the Broncos. I'm just not betting on the Bears and Cutler. So I'm taking the Broncos in this one.
I'm going to take the Broncos, too. Playing in Chicago, I think will benefit the Denver defense more than anyone else. Denver used to playing in some pretty rough conditions. They'll see that in Chicago. It's not going to fare well for Cutler against the number one defense in the league.
All right. Guess who I'm picking here. I'm going with the Bears. 2 weeks ago, the Bears had a huge comeback against the Chargers. Since then, their offense has been clicking. Jay Cutler has looked good. They're on a 2-game win streak. I say they get number 3, and Brock Osweiler struggles under center for the Broncos. On to the next game. The 6-3 Green Bay Packers visiting the first place Minnesota Vikings. Brodsky?
I'm taking the Vikes in this one. I waffled on this one back and forth up until when I caught that football. But AP's been great, and that defense has been stellar. I think that the Vikes are able to take it home against a struggling Packers team.
Dude, what's with your language today?
Exquisite, waffled.
I tried.
What's next? You
I
got
like
to
it.
think something.
He
for
broke
next.
out
Keep it going.
He broke out the thesaurus today. I'm with it. But I'm with him on this one as well. And I think we're witnessing a changing of the guard in the NFC North, and I think the Vikings take this one.
I'm going to take the Packers. I just can't see the Packers losing 4 in a row. Minnesota has had an extremely easy schedule. If you look at them top to bottom, I'm not sure they're ready to take the NFC North just yet.
I agree with Mr. Beatus here. There will be no changing of the guard yet in the NFC North. The Green Bay Packers still have the man himself, Aaron Rodgers, as I say on the show oftentimes, top 3 NFL quarterback. They're just struggling without Jordy Nelson. I'm going to take the Packers in this one to beat the Vikings on the road. Up next, the 8-1 Bengals travel to the 7-2 Arizona Cardinals. Mr. Thesaurus?
This is a delectable matchup. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one. They're an incredible team at home, and Carson Palmer's been a top 3 MVP candidate this year, and Fitzgerald is looking like a Hall of Famer again. Cards take this one in a tight one.
The Bengals looked really bad on Monday Night Football last week. 10-6, that's not it. And I think they get their second straight loss in Arizona this week. I'm taking the Cardinals as well.
I'm also taking the Cardinals on this bad momentum run. They should have really destroyed the Texans. And since this offense struggled, I'm going to take Arizona.
It took me a bit to actually believe in the Bengals at the start of the season. I didn't think they were going to be that good. And I think the real Cincinnati Bengals are finally showing up. I'm going with Carson Palmer and the Cardinals. On to the next game, the undefeated New England Patriots, one of the 2 remaining, host the 5-4 Rex Ryan-led Buffalo Bills. The source?
I've really wavered on this decision, and I am this close to picking the Pats to lose this week, especially after struggling so hard last week. But I just can't do it. I said I'm not going to pick against New England this season. I'm not picking against them. Patriots take this one.
At some point, the Patriots' luck will run out, and they'll lose a game before the playoffs. I completely believe that. But I just don't think this is the week. They ran to their kryptonite last week with the New York Giants. I don't know what it is about them, but they just always
They're
seem to play
great.
worse.
That's what it is.
That's definitely not it. But I think they get back on track and stay undefeated this week.
I don't think this is the week to pick against New England. I'm taking New England at home.
Patriots. Next game, upset.
Chiefs, Bolts, Chargers take this one home.
My game is actually an even line right now, but I'm taking the Texans, the 4-5 Texans over the 5-4 Jets in this one.
You know what? I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys on the road. I'm going to take them winning.
Started off with the Bears, finishing it off with the Rams. They're going to beat the Baltimore Ravens, who lost to the Jaguars last week. They've just really been struggling, and I just don't think this is their year. Taking the Rams in this one.
Don't hate on the Jags, man. The Jags are saucy.
No, I like the Jags. I love Blake Bortles.
You also love the Dolphins.
I have picked the Dolphins a lot. That has to do with Lamar Miller and Jarvis Landry on my fantasy team. But anyway.
That's why you're in last place.
In fantasy, I'm in 6th place, which is good enough to make the playoffs in my league. But anyway, big shout out to Jake Britton on being our captain of these little broadcasts we do.
Did you apologize for
camera.
poking him in the eye?
I never poked him in the eye. That is a false story that
Tell
Liam
Goodell
made up
that.
last week.
Tell Goodell that.
We're doing a private investigation.
It's Pokegate. Didn't really happen.
We'll
Anyway,
be back with an update on
thanks
Pokemon
for watching this week. We'll see you next week when I'm in 1st place. All right, have a good one.